it's possible that Starscream could come back. Could it really be possible? What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching The Road to TF5. This is just a web series we're talking about Transformers last night. This is episode number 71, and I know you guys have been waiting for that major set report. That is something that was supposed to have happened on August 16th. It has been delayed once again. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Michael Bay invited a bunch of journalists from major entertainment and movie news websites to check out the filming and be a part of the action. And what they would do later on is, of course, take notes and report what they saw. And they were supposed to reveal what they saw on August 16th. Apparently, it's been delayed. We're not sure exactly when they're going to lift that embargo. And this is what Steven Weintraub said from Collider. He said, got pushed back again, not sure of new date. So, apparently, we're not going to know when it's going to happen, but we are going to get a comprehensive set report eventually. I'm curious to know what exactly they saw. All I know from all the tweets was a lot of explosions, but I'm curious to see which vehicles were there. I'm talking about which Autobots and which Decepticons. So anyways, moving on, they have, of course, wrapped up filming in Detroit. Detroit has been standing in for Chicago and also London. I'm not sure what other areas, or rather what other cities it represents or will represent, but so far Chicago and London. Now they have moved on to Scotland. This is the second international location that they have filmed at. First one being Cuba, now Scotland. And this was a report posted by STV News. The headline reads, Hollywood blockbuster Transformers filming on Skye. The action got underway at the Old Man of Store and on Trotternish Ridge on Monday morning. Transformers Last Night is the latest in a series of Hollywood blockbusters to be shot on the island. Now, if you don't know what is the Isle of Skye, it is actually the largest and most northernmost major island in Scotland, and they specifically filmed at the Store, aka the Old Man of Store, which is a rocky hill on the Trotternish Peninsula in the Isle of Skye. And they also filmed at the Trotternish Ridge, and that was one of the more major areas where they filmed that. And if you look at any of the photos of those areas, you can tell that these are some pretty grand locations, because you can really film some big set pieces there. I don't know if they really filmed any big action because there wasn't any photos or videos of explosions going off, but it looks like they could be filming scenes for possibly a medieval flashback sequence. Possibly. And so they were filming on Monday and Tuesday. Apparently they weren't there for or rather they were going to move on to a new location after that. So it was just Monday and Tuesday, and actually Michael Bay posted on his Instagram this just little short video of them doing some filming there, and you could see just from the video like some amazing scenery that is going to be captured, especially from the air, because they got the camera mounted on the helicopter and they're going to do some flybys. It's going to look fantastic. And not only that, there is actually a Facebook page called Homeward Flight. I'm not sure what they're all about, but based on this photo, it looks like he makes tiny little hamburgers. But anyways, they posted a photo album which shows some great photos of the actual filming. For example, of course, here you see the helicopter. He's flying around, and look at these these hills. You know, this is really something else. Now they've brought on horses, and this looks like an area where they would have filmed a lot of movies that take place during medieval times. I mean, look at this. Now there's a knight on this black horse, and here's a closer-up shot of that knight. This is medieval times. They're going back into the Dark Ages. You know what I'm talking about? And this is a pretty big deal because we're really getting to see something that is very, very different from what we're used to. I mean, they've done flashbacks before in the previous films. For example, in the first Transformers, there was a flashback where Archibald Witwicky was in the Arctic Circle doing some excavating. In the second film, the flashback sequence was during the time of the cavemen. There was a scene where he's like about to hunt a saber-toothed tiger of some kind, and then in the fourth film at least, we get to see dinosaurs. So we've seen very brief sequences for the flashbacks, but I have a feeling that the sequences we're gonna see here are going to be major sequences, like things that have to do a lot with the plot, and there's going to be a big deal of deal of significance revolving around these sequences that are going to be filmed here. So this is a pretty big deal. Now, I'm going to leave you the link to that album at Homeward Flight. You can check out all those photos. Great photos. This really gives you another perspective on what they're planning to do with the story. All right. Now, let's check out the Transformers Instagram account. Instagram.com/TransformersMovie. Now, you may have noticed that I titled this video Starscream in King Arthur's Court. Now, if that sounds familiar, it's because there was a G1 episode in, of course, Transformers Generation 1, where there was an episode called A Night in King Arthur's Court. And what that episode was that you have a bunch of Autobots and a bunch of Decepticons. They somehow entered through some time portal and ended up in medieval times, and they had to work together with knights to fight off dragons, and it was a pretty fun episode. So here is a photo of, it appears to be a raptor. And well, what is Starscream? Starscream is a raptor. Could this be Starscream's return to Transformers last night? Is he making a comeback? Is he going to get resurrected? A lot of fans have been saying that, it's possible that Starscream could come back. Could it really be possible? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think that Starscream is coming back. A lot of people ask me in the Road to TF5 questions, is Starscream coming back? They could totally revive him. I mean, if they can revive Megatron and they can revive Barricade, they can definitely revive Starscream. I don't think so. Aside from the fact that it was a confirmed kill, why would they cheapen Starscream's death by just bringing him back again? They didn't bring back any other Autobots, with the exception of Optimus Prime, but he's got to come back. But Starscream, he was a main Decepticon character. He was there in the first one, second one, and third one, and there was a theme in all of those films, and that was he was somebody a character that taunted Sam Witwicky. And then, so he's been doing that throughout 3 movies, and finally Sam got his revenge by stabbing him in the eye with an explosive like a sticky bomb, and then it blew up his face, and I'm just thinking, that was a pretty epic kill on Sam Witwicky's part. Starscream is dead. This is just a photo of raptors, keyword being raptors. I mean, if this was evidence of Starscream, they would have just took a photo of one raptor, and on the caption, it would have read something like, "Guess who's back?" or "Who is this?" or something like that. Instead, it says aim high. #Transformers, USAF Hollywood, United States Air Force Hollywood. So, that doesn't tell us much at all. It's very, very vague, and all I think it means is that they're just filming at the Air Force Base. So I don't think Starscream is actually back. But something about something that's completely not related to this is that all this filming that we're seeing from Scotland really does remind me of that episode, A Night in King Arthur's Court. Now let's just take a look at some scenes from that episode. For example, it shows Starscream and Ramjet, and there's a princess there, even though I don't believe Starscream is back. You see Starscream on the castle. Once again, I don't think Starscream is back. But then you see this shot right here, where you have, is that grapple or hoist with that's, I believe that's Trailbreaker, or anyways, with Warpath, and he's fighting off a dragon. Okay, a dragon. Now, we've seen promo art where we see a dragon, a three-headed one to be specific. And then in this one, you see Warpath talking with a knight. So that was a pretty awesome episode. And I have a feeling that, obviously, we're seeing a lot of references to knights, like Merlin and Excalibur, and you know, we got dragons. So definitely taking inspiration from that episode. Okay, so that is pretty awesome. I think it's a really great thing that we're really branching out into the realm of fantasy, because I guess it's great for us to see something different. We've been seeing the same formula over and over and over again in all 4 films. This is a chance for them to break away from that, and I think that we're going to see something very special. I know I'm hyping it up, but I'm excited. I got some serious anticipation for what they're going to bring us, okay? So, moving on, let's talk about other social media postings. It was Transformers Tuesday a couple of days ago, and on Transformers Tuesday, what they do is that they post some videos of behind the scenes. And what we saw was a very exciting video where they were filming in the United States. This was before they went over to Scotland. And it was this video, Michael Bay doing some direction on an exterior set, which involves a lot of green screen. Now, if you take a look at the video, you'll see that, you know, they're surrounded by green screen. There's these giant 3 pillars that also have green screen on the bottom part, and it involves water. It involves like the characters sliding down on a slope, and I have a feeling that they are on an alien craft, like a watercraft, like a alien submarine or something like that, the reason why I think that is, of course, there's water, but there's green screen all around, so I'm just thinking they're going to key out that green screen and just put in alien environments. Because there is a scene that was filmed where Cade Yeager and also Laura Haddock's character was in a submarine. And I think they had to gain access to the alien craft that was submerged underwater. And then now that they got there, the submerged alien craft has gone to the surface. And this is the surface of that submerged alien craft. That's what I think, okay? Because they're rolling off of it. And also, if it was just going to be any normal submarine, like a military submarine, they would have filmed it on an actual submarine, or at least built the set like a submarine. They're using a lot of green screen here. And the reason why is because they want to put in, like, I guess more, sci-fi looking environments, alien environments. That's what I believe. I don't think it's an actual submarine. Because in Revenge of the Fallen, when they filmed on an actual submarine, I mean, when the story took place in an actual submarine, they filmed on an actual submarine. No need for any green screen. They did it actually there. So this is something entirely different, and I think that they're on they're on the surface of an alien craft that actually rose to the surface of the water. So that's what I think is going on there, and that happened on the last few days of filming right before they went to Scotland. So, anyways, that is all I have to say in this episode. Do you believe that's Starscream? Let me know in the comment section below. I don't think it is. I think he's totally dead. I think that bringing back characters, like supporting characters, kind of cheapens the whole concept of killing them off. I mean, that's kind of like bringing back, like, Ironhide or Ratchet. Why bother killing them off and then making us feel emotional about it when they could just bring them back? Sure, bringing them back will make a lot of fans happy, especially if you're a fan of that character, but their death has to mean something, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't think they're coming back. Barricade, as for Barricade, like I said, I really didn't see him get killed. I mean, even if you could point me to the direction of that video of him getting shot, I didn't see him actually get killed. So, you can say whatever you want. I didn't see him die. Anyways, we're going to go into Twitter questions. If you if you tweet at me with the hashtag #TheRoadToTF5, I will answer questions. I'm going to do it quite quickly because you know, I want to keep this video short. So, Chris asked, do you think Hot Rod will have a big role in TF5, or will he have a similar role to Jazz from 2007 movie? Definitely have a bigger role than Jazz. Jazz's role was very, very small, and we didn't even get to know his character, and then he got killed off. A very, very minor role. Hot Rod's definitely going to have a bigger role than that. Moving on, we got a question from Andy Murphy. What's your opinion on how the whole Merlin thing might take place? Do you think there might be time travel? I'm at the point where I believe where there will be time travel. Originally, I was just thinking that it's just going to be a medieval flashback scene, but I think it's going to be a combination of a medieval flashback scene and also time travel, perhaps going through a portal. Like, for example, a ground bridge or space bridge or something like that, which takes them to that time. So I think that's going to happen. Hunter, aka Anti-Dark Matter, asks, how much of Optimus Prime's visit to Cybertron do you think the movie will show? I think they're going to keep it to a minimum. I think that they're going to show a little bit more than what we saw in Transformers Dark of the Moon, where Optimus Prime and Ratchet went to the moon to recover Sentinel Prime's body and the pillars. I think we're going to get a little bit more than that, but I think they're going to keep it to a minimal. They're filming in some really significant locations here, you know what I'm saying, like in Detroit and in Scotland, and you know, I think that they're going to make a good use of that rather than have too much of it take place on Cybertron. That's what I think. Sandip though Dash asks, how about Joss Whedon directing Transformers 7? I think that's awesome. I love the idea of Joss Whedon directing Transformers 7. It's just not going to happen. And plus, I kind of don't want him to direct Transformers 7, mainly because I would rather him direct a Black Widow solo film for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's something that he wanted to do, and I actually would like to see him do that instead of Transformers 7, although I believe that he will do a great job. Revel Each Moment asks, do you think we'll see any surviving KSI drones from Age of Extinctions? No, we're not going to see any more KSI drones. We're going to see a new Decepticons, but there is no evidence of drones. The only evidence that I see is those military vehicles with the upside down V, but I don't believe those are drones at all. I believe those are just, military vehicles, and then we saw 4 very unique alt modes for Decepticons, and so therefore there's no visual evidence of KSI drones. The only KSI technology could possibly be seen in Galvatron when he transforms back into Megatron. Julian Petter asks, Norway's newspaper, this is not even a question, this is actually something that I wanted to share with you guys from Julian Petter. He says, Norway's newspaper told us that Michael will shoot in Norway for 2 weeks. The filming takes place after October 2nd. That is exciting. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. He says that Norway newspapers say that Transformers The Last Night will be filming in Norway October 2nd. So that's something that I want to mention to you guys from Julian Petter, because they're moving on to Norway. I don't know what they're doing between Scotland and Norway, but they're definitely, well, they're going to be in Norway. I'm not going to say definitely just because I didn't see the newspaper article myself, but this is what Julian Petter says. And that's exciting. I hope they include scenes with the Northern Lights. Imagine that. You have a scene of exposition with 2 Autobots, or a couple of Autobots, and then Northern Lights are in the background. That'll be sick, okay? Finally, Adrian Salamone asks, when do you think the writers will introduce Ultra Magnus and Blur? Do you think they'll make the live-action films? Blur, I'm not sure if they'll bring him in at all, but Ultra Magnus at some point in time has to come in, because he's a major player in the whole Optimus Prime story. After all, the films do revolve around Optimus Prime. I think bringing in Ultra Magnus, especially since they're doing this whole cinematic universe, I think it's very appropriate and necessary for them to complete the story. You can't complete the story without bringing in the Ultra Magnus story. We gotta have him in there. So I think at some point, maybe not The Last Night, but maybe later on, they're gonna introduce his character, and I think that is for sure. As for Blur, it's a possibility that he could show up, but he might not, because so many characters to choose from. Anyways, that's all I gotta say in this video. The only thing that I'm gonna do left is I'm gonna do birthday shoutouts, Twitter shoutouts, and we're gonna wrap it up, alright? Happy birthday to Hayden Miller, Extreme Swirl, Sir Ticklebear, Future Rail Productions, Beethoven Chavez, The Creeper Killer, Darkness Johnson, Tyrell James, Dressy TV, Brandon Gandiza, and Kelly Bowerman. Happy birthday to all y'all. Hope you have a good one. And finally, Twitter shoutouts go out to Malcolm Hargrove, Heroic Static, Alexander Catafias, Alessa Setogaya, and also Shanter. So, thank you so much for being part of the Ragin Nation. If you want a shout out, all you gotta do is follow me and retweet the latest episode, which will be this one. If you do that, then I could possibly give you a shout out. And I also want to give a shout out to Tyann Colbert. Just thanks for reaching out to me. I really appreciate your message, and thank you for being part of the Ragin Nation. I really appreciate your support. Anyways, that's all I really have to say in this episode. It's been really exciting. It's filming in Scotland. They're going to move on to Norway, and they're filming medieval scenes. What do you think is going to take place? Let me know in the comments section below. Thank you for all your support. I really appreciate you guys joining me on this journey to the 5th installment of the live-action Transformers franchise. We're getting into the realm of fantasy with knights and Knights of the Round Table, Excalibur and Merlin and all that, and dragons. So this is very, very exciting. I can't wait to see this movie and what Michael Bay has in store for us. Anyways, if you want to follow and keep up to date with all the action that has been going on with the filming of Transformers last night, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation, and also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. My name is Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. Dragon. I don't know what that thing is. It could be Predaking. It could even be Scourge. But I think that Megatron is not going to be